The next generation of consoles are on the horizon, and today we go in depth to determine which console is superior as of right now. I'm Fringy123 and welcome to today's episode of Versus. Up this week, it's the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One. Before we jump into today's episode, let's recap last week, where we pitted Grand Theft Auto 5 against Watch Dogs. You voted, and the winner of the previous episode of Versus is Watch Dogs. Thanks for voting, everyone, and remember to leave your vote for today's episode in the comments section. Now, I know I've covered the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One a lot, and I've actually done a comparison video, but I feel that it is important to compare the consoles now that we have more facts laid out for us. First up today is arguably the head of the pack for the upcoming generation, the PlayStation 4. Let's cover the heart of the console, the specs. The PlayStation 4 is using a semi-custom 88-core AMD x86 CPU and a custom AMD Radeon GPU. There is 8GB of unified GDDR5 RAM in the box, along with 500GB hard drive and a Blu-ray disc reader. These specs are a leap above the previous generation, but are still lagging behind high-end gaming PCs. Regardless of this, the console is packing serious power and the architecture is much easier to code for than the PS3 Cell processor. The design of the console is sleek and simple in design. The controller has also been revamped. The DualShock 4 is more ergonomic than before and is the first significantly different designed controller since the PlayStation began in the mid-90s, employing a touchpad on the front and motion integration with the PlayStation camera. The console has an upgraded OS from the barebones XMB with more functionalities than ever before. Users can upload gameplay using the share button, live stream to Ustream, efficiently download games and content in the background using a secondary CPU, and so much more. Sony's acquisition of Gaikai has also come into use with the plan for all PlayStation games to become available through the cloud by 2014. Remote play is also a unique feature of the console, allowing every PlayStation 4 game to be played remotely on the Vita. Besides all of this, the most important part of the console is not in the box, but in its library of games. Honestly, the PlayStation 4 lineup is solid, but not as strong as the Xbox One launch lineup. But there's more on that later. The console is launching with 3 exclusives such as Killzone Shadowfall and many multi-platform games such as Watch Dogs and Battlefield 4. Plans for the future are strong though, with the Gaikai plan and more blockbuster games launching in 2014 such as Infamous, Second Son and Destiny, as well as a strong exclusive third-party support from Ubisoft and Activision. Unfortunately, PlayStation Plus is now required to play online multiplayer. However, with the great deals monthly and the value of PlayStation Plus, it still outweighs Xbox Live Gold. Overall, the PlayStation 4 has a strong set of specs and a good lineup of games to set the console ahead, and with great PR and customer relations, Sony have put themselves in a good position for the next generation. The best part about the PlayStation 4 is the price. At $400 in the US, the price point is very aggressive. The Xbox One is the other next generation console launching this year alongside the PS4 and has some strengths over the PS4, but also has some disadvantages too. After the reversal of the DRM on the Xbox One, the consoles are on a more even playing field despite the poor PR from Microsoft. The Xbox One has similar specs to the PlayStation 4. The console has a similar 8-core AMD CPU with AMD Radeon graphics and 8GB of the slightly slower GDDR3 RAM. The console also has a 500GB hard drive and also uses Blu-ray. The specs of the console slightly lag behind the PlayStation 4, but the difference in the performance probably won't be noticeable at launch, as opposed to being more noticeable later on in the life cycle of the console. The other major piece of hardware attached to the console is the Kinect 2.0, with highly sensitive cameras and new technology implemented into the Kinect. In my opinion, I honestly do not care about the Kinect at all, and neither do a lot of you guys. The controller is slightly redesigned, but is very similar to the 360 controller, and that isn't actually a bad thing. The OS is designed around the interface of the new 360 dashboard and the Windows 8 Metro user interface. Kinect and voice commands can be used to navigate the dashboard. As an all-in-one entertainment system, the Xbox One does have an edge on the PS4. With Skype and cable integration, users can quickly multitask. The question is whether you want the Xbox One as an all-in-one entertainment system as opposed to a gaming console. In terms of games, as of right now, the Xbox One does have more games at launch. The console is launching with 4 exclusive titles such as Dead Rising 3 and Rise Son of Rome, with many more exclusives planned such as Sunset Overdrive, Crimson Dragon, and of course Halo 5. Third-party support is solid, though it is lagging behind Sony as multiple games on the PS4 are receiving exclusive content as opposed to timed exclusive content in the case of Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4. There are still some restrictions, however. Xbox Live Gold is essential for using services, not only multiplayer, but also using other services such as Netflix and even messaging friends, which is not the case on the PS4. With less value per month as well, more value can be found on the PlayStation 4. At $500, at $400 more than the PlayStation 4 with an unwanted peripheral and terrible public reception, the Xbox One does have serious advantages and disadvantages. What is the final verdict? As of right now, which console is superior? For me, the PlayStation 4 wins this round. The aggressive price point and more powerful hardware are the deciding factors for this. Remember that in the end, the winner is determined by your vote. So leave your vote in the comment section of this video and I will announce the winner of this round in the next episode. That's today's episode of Versus. Tune in next week when we take a look at 2 of the most popular shooters releasing at the end of this year. Battlefield 4 versus Call of Duty Ghosts. Until then, I'm Fringy123 and have a good one.